What's up, everybody? I'm TJ.
And I'm Kelsey, and we are
the Nashville Wine Duo.
Drinking some Moscato.
Sparkling Moscato.
Delish. Where are we? Can you actually say it?
No, we are on location, and I'm having a hard time saying...
Pazze, right?
Pazze.
Penne Pazze.
Penne Pazze.
Pazze.
Yes.
We are starting off strong.
Is it recorded?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, and we're here.
Amazing. So cheers for life.
Top
We're
and
going
bottles.
to drink Prosecco, white Prosecco.
Wait, say your name first.
Oh, hi. My name is Rony Stark. I'm Penne Pazze founder and owner.
Yes.
And tell us what Penne Pazze is.
Penne Pazze. So in our logo, we have a P made out of the pasta.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So
You
this
just
is
showed us on the chair.
Yeah. So the P, this is the P, and the penne is this type of pasta.
Okay.
Right? And pazze mean craziness because we're crazy good Italian cuisine, and we basically want to introduce to the Nashville market our Italian cuisine, which is traditional with fusion. So it's not American Italian, it's Italian, but we do a little, we call couple of the dishes are called gourmet dishes, which is like more sophisticated than the traditional basic Italian cuisine, because the Italian cuisine is really simple. It's about really fine ingredient, but you mix 3 to 4 ingredients. Not like, for example, which besides the Italian cuisine, my favorite cuisine is Asian cuisine. And Asian cuisine, when you throw thing in the wok, for example, you throw probably like 10, 15 ingredients, like a lot. So it's extreme. Italian is simple, really like 3 to 4 ingredients you mix because you really want to emphasize the flavor of each ingredient.
Yeah.
And in the other side, you have the Asian, which I like. I'm not trying to insult. I really like the Asian. It's my favorite cuisine besides, but it's different. You mix a lot of, and it's a lot of more flavors, and so we want to bring our cuisine in the best way that people will appreciate the ingredient that we get and the quality we put in each dish.
Awesome.
So tell us like your background, like how you got started in this. And
Can I pour you some wine?
Oh, I didn't
You
drink
don't
my
even have to
pasta.
ask.
All right.
You can
all
always
right,
pour the wine.
All right. There's gonna be more than the little sip we had
He
before.
makes me want to speak like in my Italian
You can't.
accent.
You can't.
Oh,
don't.
I'm
No.
the
entire
No.
podcast.
Don't do it. Please.
I want some
Now-
Prosecco.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Now I'm upset now that I don't have Ricardo here, my Italian chef, because he has this accent that you're talking about, and he could give us some insight from his perspective. But all right, so Penne Pazze. Cheers. by the
Cheers
way.
again.
Cheers.
Yes.
Yes.
Ooh, it's good.
Well, I guess in Italian, don't you say salute?
Salute.
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 Salute, and when you go like this, you're doing chin chin.
Ching ching.
Chin chin. This is
Chin
the
chin.
Italian way.
You say ching ching?
Yeah, you
Oh,
go
so
chin.
salute.
Chin
Ching.
Or salute or chin chin.
Oh, just
It's
say
like-
ching ching.
Either one.
You go like chin chin.
Oh, ching ching.
Chin chin. It sounds
It's
really.
not Asian.
It's Asian. He's bringing the Asian fusion.
No, I know it sounds
It's
Asian,
Asian.
but it's really Italian.
Ching, ching.
The
I'm
chin,
gonna be so
chin,
embarrassed
chin.
by you this whole entire podcast. You have to stop. Just talk in your normal voice. Please tell us your background.
All right. It's always better to do a podcast on a glass of wine. In our case, it's going to be glasses of wine. My background. So I'm born to an Italian family. I raised in Israel. So I'm half Israeli, half Italian. Business-minded, Israeli, culinary side, Italian. And I used to play basketball. I used to be a professional basketball player. I did 2 seasons in the pros. And then I went to law and business school. Excuse me. And since I was really young, since my parents were both doctors, I used to cook my own food all the time. And since we were a little snobbish about food because my mama is Italian and she was a great cook, We didn't have to. We weren't this kid that like you have something ready and you couldn't. When you're gonna put it in the microwave, you basically just boil a pan of water, and then you make yourself just pasta every day for lunch, like the Italian way. So I'm cooking myself pasta since I'm probably 6 years old,
Wow.
like alone. And when I was 12 years old, my dad died. And I remember, and my mom still was a doctor, so she was a lot outside the house, and I was in basketball practices because I used to have like every day besides one day basketball. And I remember I never wanted to feel alone when I came home because my older brother wasn't always there and my mother wasn't there, so I always brought people over and I made them pasta. They always say, "Hey, can we come over and you will cook us some pasta?" It's like, yeah. So it was like a social thingy for me to cook to my friends. And I grew up since I would say maybe 5th grade, like I was probably 11 years old. No, 6th grade. I was 12 years old and I was keep bringing friends until forever. Like it started then. And all the time I bring people over and my technique got better. And I remember like moving from the dry pasta to making my own fresh pasta, and it became a thing, like coming to me to like my place, and we're gonna cook together, we're gonna make like just great food. And I basically fell in love with the concept of making people happy while feeding them. So basically that's the purpose why I created Penne Pazze, like makes people happy through their stomach. Like that was my passion. And after I graduated law and business school, didn't want to be a lawyer. I knew I wanted to do a cool Italian concept in the States because I just thought it will be a great market for it. And I always wanted to live in the States. I back in the day also got accepted to 3 different schools, NCAA school, to play scholarship basketball, and I didn't do it because my mom convinced me to stay in Israel to study law and business. And then it sort of like was in my bones to I gotta do sometime like living in the States. I just loved it. So I graduated law school and I didn't want to be a lawyer. I was a law internship in Israel. You finish law school, you do 1 year of internship, and then you do the bar exam. 1 month into the internship, I knew that there is no way I'm going to be a lawyer. Like I was sitting there for like, I got it in the morning, after 45 minutes already like, oh my God, I'm falling asleep. Like it was terrible. It was terrible for me, and I try to explain my mother, which we think different. I'm have the entrepreneur mindset, and she is a doctor mindset, which is amazing. Don't get me wrong, I admire my mama, but she's more like go the secure way. Like you gotta get the profession, and you gotta do the right thing because God forbid what's gonna happen. And I'm more about, you know what, life is short. Let me pursue my dreams, my passion. And that's the only way to live your life. That's what I go by. And I literally got a mentor.
Oh, we have people no.
No, we're close. No.
Is there anything open in this building today for food? Do you know? Sorry.
There's the donut place upstairs.
So not lunch.
Didn't look like it. Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
5
Sorry.
points. 5 points is right down the road.
It's like 2 blocks down the road.
Thank you.
Sorry.
For interrupting.
Oh,
No,
it's okay.
you're good. Let me lock the door.
Yeah. We're good. We can also cut part of it out, can't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just leave it going. They look open. It was just 3 people in here. It looks open.
Looks open. Quiet. No one's here.
There's no one cooking. There's no food. Anyway.
All right. You remember what was the last thing I said?
You were talking about how like you live by like doing your passion,
Okay.
and you knew that you couldn't like walk away from that.
Okay. So put this away so it won't give you this like weird bzzz, you know? And all right. So I found a mentor. I knew I wanted to have someone to guide me because my dream was not to create a restaurant. My dream was to create a concept that we can make it a chain and open 100 restaurants in the US market, fulfilling this dream, like doing a food Italian, an open Italian kitchen concept, like cool vibe, self-service. There will be chef quality food, but like super casual vibe. And I found this mentor, and we spent almost 2 years together writing my vision, like what will be the vision, what will be the final result. And then from there we took what values needs to exist in order to fulfill the vision. And then we did and so we took vision, we did values, and we did targets. And then part of the targets was going to fly in Italy to do pizza chef course, which is pizzaiolo course, which is where I met Riccardo. Riccardo is my restaurant manager, and the pizzaiolo, which is the pizza chef, and he created all the pizza here, and he is here from day one. He's
from Italy. You went and met him in Italy, and then he came here to do this with
We
you?
met in Italy, in Florence. He's Sicilian, but we met in Florence because that's where the restaurant he worked at, and he was my teacher at the school in Florence, and we became really good friends. We've spent like almost a month together, every night cooking. So finishing the school, drinking some wine, getting like good buzz, and just cooking together and having a great time. And I told him, it was a real love from first sight. I love this guy from the moment I saw him. And I told him, once I'm going to open my concept in the US, you have to come with me. He said, all right, we'll see, we'll talk. And then 1 year later, I told him, do you want to come? He said, not really. I love my life here in Sicily, and I want to stay in Italy. And then we got pushed back because like building wise and everything. And then a couple of months later, I reached out to him again. And I was like, listen, just come for 10 days. Let's refresh my memory on the dough, because the dough we do, and we'll talk about it later. It's called pinza, P-I-N-S-A. It's not the normal pizza. It's a little different, and it's a little bit more complicated. And I was telling him, hey, just come help me for 10 days just to open, and then we'll talk. And then this also got delayed, and maybe 2-3 months later, I called him, and I was like, listen, talk to my immigration lawyer. I can pay your visa for 1 year. Would you come for 1 year? He said, like, yes. I was like, okay. So I flew him actually to Israel, because our case was in the Israel embassy, and he came out, and I was really nervous outside waiting for him. And 2 hours later, he came out with a big smile. And I was like, how was it? He said, like, oh my God, this was amazing. I was like, she got you the visa? I said, like, yes, and where's your passport? And he goes like, I don't know, you told me don't say too many things. So I just gave her the passport and I walked away. I was like, So I was like, okay. So make long story short, he got the visa and he came with me like probably a month before we were ready here, and he helped me literally scrubbing the ceiling from all the dust that been here, and he was here from day one. We created the menu together, and we did literally everything together. At the beginning it was just me and him and another guy, from morning till night, and we opened 2 days before COVID started.
Oh my gosh.
So, and people think, oh my God, COVID was the worst luck in the world, and I'm telling you, no, COVID was the best thing ever happened to us.
Really?
Because it gave us the opportunity to learn the business. I never owned a business before, so it led us the opportunity to learn everything, how to make everything, and it was me and him and another guy, and we used to come at 9 in the morning, leave at 1 a.m. at night. At some point, after like a couple of weeks, we were being exhausted. I got us an air mattress, and we used to take turns during the day when it was slow to just like nap a little bit and just relax. And slowly we grew, and our sales got better, and and we adjust immediately. Like when COVID started, we immediately started like doing deliveries and pickup because we never.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, were you guys open at all? Like
we were open,
but you were sending it out.
Yeah, but we're saying out at the beginning we thought, okay, we're gonna start really slow, like seeing what's going on, and then slowly when we feel comfortable, we'll do the pickup and delivery. We don't want to overwhelm ourselves, but since COVID happened, we needed to adjust immediately, which is basically what you need to do in business, right? When unexpected things happen, you gotta adjust, and that's what we did, and that's how we started, and slowly it's picked up. And then there was one day, maybe I think 5 months after we're open, we're still relatively new and slow, like sales gotten better and better and better. But one day, this lady came in the restaurant, and I was the chef, the pasta chef, and I was the pasta chef for the first 2 years. So Ricardo was the pizza guy, and I was the main pasta, and I was cooking, and this girl coming with her mother, and they order like 3 or 4 dishes, and I'm explaining her every dish, and every time I'm explaining, she's pulling her phone out, she's taking a video and pictures, and she loved it. And in the end of the meal, she goes, "Do you mind if I put in my social media?" And I was like, "Of course." Like, you know, every customer walks in here, tag us in their social media, so I didn't think it's a big deal, and then it was a Monday, I think, my phone, which is the phone associated with the restaurant, started like getting calls after calls after calls. And I'm going like, what's going on? It's a Monday. Like, why do we have like 50 calls? And my wife is going like, maybe you should consider opening on a Monday. So like, listen, I don't know what's going on. And she just moved. She just moved from out of the States to live here, and she goes like, "What's going on?" Like I said, like I have no clue. And the day after, we opened the restaurant, and we have people lined up the door.
Line.
Wow. Like
oh my
unreal,
gosh.
like what's going on? And the girl that she's like, "Oh, I posted the thing on TikTok, and it already reached like 75,000 views."
Oh my gosh! Wow.
And the day after, it was like already 100,000. And basically, this from that moment, we never looked back.
So that girl was just like a TikTok influencer?
She was a TikTok influencer, and it's funny because I'm gonna say it quick. It's there was one podcast which called "How I Built This" with Guy Raz, which is talking about how we build like different. He interview people. He do podcasts with people who build like big brands. And he was talking one time about Chipotle with the Chipotle owner and founder, and then they're talking about. He asked him how did you do this? So he's explaining that his dream was to make a Michelin star restaurant, and he was a chef, and he didn't have time, so he said, all right, I'm going to open a taco place, just like, because it doesn't need a lot of investment. So I started with 5 tacos, and we started, and we had like really good success. I think that he said they started as a food truck, the first location, and then after a couple of months, the guy from New York Times show up, just like did a little article about them. I'm just comparing the eras, right? Like the 90s compared to 2020 to 2020.
Yeah.
And he published this article about them, and then basically from that moment they never looked back. Yeah. So the same for us, like that girl, which was a TikTok influencer with like I don't know, 1 million followers or whatever, came here, just did one TikTok about us, and sort of from then we never looked back, which was like really fun and interesting. And that was the first kick, like real kick for us to start like moving towards like increasing sales and everything, and more exposure, and that's all.
That's amazing.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
That's a cool story. And honestly, like, I guarantee you if it wasn't her, it would have been somebody else that would have posted about it, because it sounds like you have something really authentic happening here.
I believe so. I really think that once you build a fun place to come with good product because we have good product, and I think it's actually great product, and we emphasize our DNA. Even though it's a self-service concept, we really engage with every customer, and we want to make them feel welcome in here. I want to give the customers the feeling like I used to put all my heart to my friend when they used to come to my house. And that's the vibe. Like, treat every customer that walks in here like he's your friend, that you want to just makes him happy, and that's the DNA. When we hire people, we try to give them the Penne Pazze DNA, and it's connecting to what I told you before, which with this route I did with my mentor to create Penne Pazze. So each customer, each employee that we hire here, we want to give him the tools, the DNA, the identity of what we do, so they will deliver the message of how we do the things and how we treat our customers. Because at the end of the day, customers is our most important thing. They're coming here, they're paying their best money to be in here, and we have to, and I'm telling my employees, you gotta remember, every person that walks in the door in here, you gotta treat them the best, because they're paying your salary, they're paying our money, that's paying my salary that I'm feeding my family with, and you have to, and it's maybe sounds really crazy, but most people doesn't think this way.
Right.
And they take things for granted, and they don't treat customer with respect, and they think like, all right, like they will come, they will leave, other people will come. It doesn't work like this. So we really care about our customer, and we really emphasize this personal relationship that we have with each one that walks in here, and that's our goal. To this is our first location. We're I would say 4 to 5 weeks from opening our second one, and we're looking for the third one already. And the biggest challenge will be consistent with the quality of food and with the customer service that we give our customers. So that's our goals, to keep them like at the best as we do now.
Yeah. So in 4 or 5 weeks, you're going to open up your second location.
Yep.
And that's in Murfreesboro, Tennessee?
It's in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, in the Fountains, which is basically a market, and it's on Medical Parkway, which is the most popular boulevard, I would call it, in Murfreesboro, probably like 5 minutes from MTSU, so it's a great location.
I'll have to tell your mom about it. She'll go nuts over it.
So now is Ricardo going to go out there and teach them?
So Ricardo going to go out there and be, it's going to be both of us at the beginning, actually. Now we have our team here is great, and they're ready to take off without us. We will be visiting and staying on top of everything here, but me and him are gonna go there and train the team and try to teach them all the DNA of how we do the things, and we're really organized. So we have a book with everything of how we do, and so we're trying to keep everything really professional. And I think the first 6 months will be mainly there at the beginning until we'll feel free to let them do their thing. So.
Yeah. We'll have to go out there when they're opening and shout them out and
totally
talk about eat it.
Totally.
Eat the good pasta.
Yes,
I'm already I'm just hearing about the whole story. I'm like, I can't wait to try the food too.
So tell us what's your most popular dishes that you guys sell here that people really enjoy, so people can know.
I want to give you a really generic answer that I'm not sure you're gonna like.
Oh, it's okay.
But I'm gonna combine it with a cool story.
Okay.
So I was the chef, and this 60 years old guy walks in the restaurant with his wife and with his daughter. Daughter's probably 35 years old. His wife the same age as him. He's sitting right there, like in front of the pasta cooking station, and I'm cooking. And he goes, "What's your best?" And I was like, "Hard to say, man." And he goes like, "What's your favorite one?" Listen, I'm telling him, it's I created the menu with Ricardo, so I feel like each dish is like my kids, you know. It's like I will ask you, who's your favorite child? Is with no hesitation. No hesitation, he goes, my son. So the daughter and his wife started dying laughing. And I love to say this story because when people ask me what's the best, I'm honestly, we created a menu that can be vegan, vegetarian, meat and everything you want. So from really simple to like a little bit more complicated. So it's literally appealing to vegan people, vegetarian, meat lovers, and I'm telling people, whatever you read the menu, when you see one ingredient you feel like you want to eat, take this, we make it good. So and it's true because we see our breakdown of sales. So yes, I'm going to talk about our top 4 bestsellers, which is a little bit more than the others. Yeah. But we really sell, our menus sell, like all of it sells, and it's amazing because when we opened the place, it took me probably 2 years to be in the place to be confident. All right, we're doing something right, because the first 2 years, like, are we a fraud? Like, who are we, right? Like, are we convincing ourselves that we selling good food, or it really is good food? Like, I mean, you can't tell until you really, and after 3 years now, I know that our food is amazing and people loving it, and we created really balanced food, which is, I don't know if might be a little luck involved with it. I feel like when you create something, if you work hard, you do the right thing, it will happen. But always, it's not just luck that will something fall from the sky and hit you. It's not this definition of luck, but things that you created will, let's say that the star will arrange your way because you made a couple things to make them happen this way, if you understand what I'm saying. And so we got to the point that our menu is simple but balanced, and it's appealing to everyone. And after I did this like detour, I'm gonna touch the real answer for the question. So our pizza, for the 2 pizza we sell the most, is our Penne Pazze, which is basically a margarita with pesto and burrata cheese in the middle, which is our bestseller product in the restaurant. And I don't know if you know what's burrata, but it's basically a bowl of mozzarella that you cut and spread on the pizza, and people loving it. And the other, actually there is 2 after the pazza, which is the pinza maiala, which is a mid-lover one. It's a sausage, salami, and porchetta, which is really good. And the second one is actually a spicy honey pepperoni, which
that sounds really good.
Which is really good. It's actually, I don't want to tell you in the podcast how I created it. I will tell you off the record. But one time after I was like, in the night, I had a really, I was craving something like meat and sweet, and I created this pizza. So I created it like literally in 2 a.m. in the morning. The day after, I was like, all right, I'm coming to the restaurant. I want to try this recipe, and put it on the pizza special of the day, and it became the bestseller, and we put it in the menu right now. So it's actually, that's how we created. I'm happy you got it. We don't have to tell more than that.
Yeah, the stars were aligning.
And so this pizza wise and pasta wise, we have our Nonna Paola. Nonna in Italian is grandma, and Paola is my mother. I wanted to name a dish after my mother, and I created this dish, which my mom would not be approved, by the way, by this dish, because for her it will be too many ingredients in this dish. But it's basically pesto dish with sun-dried tomato and confit garlic, and people loving it.
That sounds good.
And it's one of the best seller. And the second one is the amatriciana, which is basically a pancetta, which is Italian bacon. Pancia in Italian is stomach, so pancetta is a bacon from the stomach. Which you can also, the real amatriciana you make or with pancetta or with guanciale. Guanciale is this part, the
cheeks?
The cheeks from the cow, or the pork. But we make it with pancetta, so it's basically, the amatriciana is pancetta and tomato. That's all. So it's really simple, and people loving it. So the nonna paola and the amatriciana is the best seller for pasta. And I don't know if you know, but last year we were named by, I don't remember this. It's a radio station. They have like almost 1 million followers on Instagram and whatever. They named best pasta in the U.S. for each state.
What?
And I don't know how, but they picked Penne Pazze
That's
for
great.
Tennessee.
Wow.
They picked Penne Pazze for Tennessee, which was amazing. And I was like, all right, that's cool. and so this happened, and we were named the best. There was a list on Nashville Guru of the best Italian restaurant in town, and they put us first. And there was another one on the best pizza in town that they put us first, which is, it's fun. It's just giving you this confidence that we're doing the right thing and people loving it, and that's mainly it.
That's good.
awesome.
I respect that answer. Him going, you know what? Every item on this menu,
Oh yeah.
I stand behind.
Totally. I mean, I think you have to have confidence.
You go
too
by
in what you-
sales, but yes, when you sit down and order anything off this plate, you're going to be wowed.
And,
Yeah.
and we mean it. You know,
Yeah,
when people coming in here, we tell them, they goes like, hey, but can I? There is a dish called Penne Pazze, which is confit garlic, which is slow cooked garlic and olive oil, which give the garlic like you touch it's like salt.
Does that mean it's cooked in fat?
It's cooked in olive oil for
good.
2 hours.
Oh.
So everything confit is like long cook.
For some reason, I thought that was like fat, maybe because of like duck confit, but
Yeah, so that confit, or like there is a lot of version for confit, which is slow cook. It can be in fat, in oil, or whatever.
Okay.
So this dish is the Penne Pazze is confit garlic with cherry tomato. We do confit, so we cook them slow cook, and
Yeah.
they become like sweet.
yeah.
And olives, Kalamata olives, pecorino, which we top on each dish, and fresh basil. And people goes, hey, can you take the garlic out, or can you take the Kalamata olives?
no.
It's like, listen, every ingredient in this dish, so the tomato make it sweet. The
Yeah.
garlic, the confit garlic make it like a little bitter, but also a little sweet. The olives make it a little salty, and so I recommend them. Listen, keep it as is. If you won't like it, come back to me.
Yeah.
I will make you a different dish. I promise you. Like I want to make you walk out of this place happy and pleased, and I will never let you go out of here. And people, most, like I would say 99%, I don't even remember, maybe one scenario, like literally one time. Beside one time, all the other people say like, hey, that was so delicious. I couldn't, or like parents coming, I don't know what you put in your pasta, but my kids never finished the dishes, and they
finished
almost
it.
ate the plates.
Wow.
Okay. That's
Because every element that you're adding plays a part in your.
Yes, because
plate.
it's balanced.
Yeah.
It's balanced. You don't have to put too much of this or too much of the other ingredient. We
Yeah.
just balance it, and that's the main idea of the Italian cuisine, and what we try to keep here. There's a lot of restaurants that are losing their identity because they're just like overwhelming dishes. They want to put too many of things, and too much is not means you're how do you say? When you give a lot, it doesn't mean it's better. It does, like, you can overwhelm a dish. Because, for example, I was at a taco place like not long ago, and I had a taco which it was too much.
Yeah.
And yes, I know that whoever made it put with all his heart to this taco, but if it was putting half of the amount, it was better. It was a better bite. It was more cost effective for the restaurant. And then I had this bite. I was like, it actually doesn't taste good.
Well, that's my favorite part about. I love Kitchen Nightmares. I love Gordon Ramsay, and that's his number one thing when he goes into these restaurants. He's like, way too much. He's like, it just needs to be simple,
Exactly.
and like food can be so good and simple, and you don't need to overcomplicate it.
Yeah, and that's something that it's in the American culture, that they think the more the merrier the better,
Yeah.
which is not true. Actually there is many more cases. The more simple it is, that like simplicity. The more simple it is, actually, the better it is.
True.
And we go by this. I mean, our portions are really big here, by the way. Our portions are big. Most people doesn't finish, so they take home. And I'm happy about it, even though we, like, if I'm thinking economical, a lot of people taking to-go stuff to take home, which costs us more money, but I'm happy. I'm happy for them to have like a little leftover, and when they come home, it's like, oh my God, I have leftover Penne Pazze. So
I love leftovers.
so I'm happy about it, but there is a really fine line between putting too much and overwhelming the dish and the experience, and like put it the right amount. And we were masterizing it the first year of Penne Pazze, making sure we're doing everything, and that's why every time we cook, we have a measurement cup for everything. Like every dish we make it with measurement cups. We know exactly, so be consistent with flavor, be consistent with food cost, which is super important to operate like a restaurant.
You're not just like throwing everything in there. Yeah.
Yeah, so we know exactly how much we put and what's the order we put, so we keep the dishes consistent, we keep the cost consistent, and we can basically operate more locations, not just be in one place. Making sure we're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
I'm so impressed.
So you guys are located in L&L Market off of Charlotte Pike.
Yeah.
Charlotte Avenue. So
Charlotte
Avenue connect to Charlotte Pike. So
Right. So once you are on the avenue, then you hit the Pike.
Yes.
Charlotte Avenue.
Let's talk a little bit about these wines. So far we had one.
All right, wait, you ready for your next one?
Yeah.
We're going to move to, wait, I'm a little behind because
You've been talking.
I've been talking
Yeah.
so
I'm sorry,
much.
I know.
Yeah, you've been talking. So
Right, today we're doing sparkling
yes, and
because
it's been
we
so good.
woke up feeling sparkling, right? So
And these are all Italian.
everything so all the wines we sell here is Italian.
Oh, okay, cool.
And so we started with a Moscato, which is a rosé made of Moscato grapes, which is really sweet.
Yeah, well, and I have to say something about this because I've tried a lot of Moscatos, and like I don't really enjoy sweet wine very much. I loved
I know.
that Moscato.
And I'm going to explain you why.
Yeah.
Because this Moscato is sweet, but it's sweet with no added sugar. It's because the type of grape they put in it, and it's the flavor is really natural.
I loved it.
And it's became one of our bestseller wine since we added it literally 3 months ago, and people loving it. Super light, sweet but light and fun. And then on the other ones we have sparkling prosecco, also rosé and white. And the last one we're going to finish is Lambrusco, which is sparkling red.
I don't know if we tried the Prosecco Rosé. I don't think we did.
No, we didn't.
Yeah.
We did the prosecco.
Yeah,
white.
that was delicious too. I loved it.
And we finished the Moscato. Now we're going to do the rosé, and we finish with the Lambrusco.
Wow! Oh my gosh, so good. So, are you a big sparkling wine fan?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, yes. I'm actually more a white person.
White
guy.
wine, yeah.
I prefer white because I don't know, it's lighter. The red is a little bit heavier. And if I do the red, I will prefer it sparkling.
What would you pair sparkling wine with?
I think this is a little flat. Let me.
It's okay.
Yeah, we're gonna skip that one.
straight to the Lambrusco.
Yeah.
Here you go.
And the Lambrusco is fizzy. It's not sparkling.
Right.
And this it might feel a little flat, but it needs to feel like Pellegrino, you know, that it's not like soda water. It's like a little give you a little bubbly thingy. So that's the Lambrusco. It's not like sparkly like the other ones. It's like more.
We really like Lambrusco.
You feel the bubbles, but it's not too much. Cheers.
Ching ching.
Chin chin.
It's chin chin.
Chin chin.
Yeah.
Chin chin.
Yes.
Chin chin.
Chin chin.
Chin chin.
Chin.
Oh,
Salute.
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 But yeah, back to my question. So what
And if
would
it's
you?
gonna go.
Anything's
longer-
gonna go with sparkling.
Say it again.
Like, what would you pair with the sparkling with prosecco? Like, what dishes would you?
I'm gonna give you an unpopular answer.
Yeah.
there is two philosophy about wine. One of them say, hey, white you gotta pair with fish or pasta, whatever, and red you gotta do with red meat, blah blah blah. I don't believe in it. I'm not a big wine expert. I'm not, but I read about it, and I'm trying to learn my way, to be more professional about my wine. But there is the other philosophy says, hey, this tastes good for you.
It's good.
It's good.
I think we can have that mentality too.
There is no set of rules that you gotta follow just to be known as, hey, you understand wine. No.
Right.
If you think a red sparkling wine will pair well with your steak, it can work. If you think your red sparkling wine would pair good with your cheesecake, do it. It's so that's my unpopular answer, but I believe in it.
Yeah, we agree with that.
Yeah, we do too. I mean, I definitely think that there are certain wines, obviously, that enhance food. I do think that that is a true experience. But I also think that there shouldn't be rules around that.
There is, but that's the thing. And that's why I give you this answer. Every person's taste palates.
Yeah, is different.
They work a little different.
Yeah.
So someone tell you, hey, this will makes you feel like a little itchy here, and it will open the flavor, blah blah. I love the sparkling mainly because they're sort of like cleaning your palates. They're opening, and like the other ones making like more flat and closing them. That's why I love drinking. For me, like sparkling would go with everything.
I think you're right, honestly. Yeah.
And that's why I give you this answer. But yeah.
No, this is really good. I really like the Lambrusco.
Yeah, we love Lambrusco.
Delicious.
It's good. That's also Gianluca. So.
Well, I have to say, I don't know, just like talking today and like, I don't know. I know this. I don't know. We talk all the time about like people that work really hard, and we often feel like it always seems like the people that are assholes are the ones that like make it sometimes or have the restaurant or whatever, and like the really pretentious people are the ones that always seem to get ahead. And like talking to you, it's just like you're such a humble person, and like you care about people, and like you have this story, and like you're one of these people. Like I watch Chef's Table a lot too. I love that show, and you remind me of the people that are on there. Like you have this drive, and like the story going back to your friends making pasta for them. Like you've had this heart in your life for a long time, and I've loved talking to you.
Yes.
Thank you. It's I'll be honest with you, okay? I'm gonna give you an unexpected answer, like for what you say. So I grew up not being a humble guy. I'm not even considered a humble guy. So you saying this is amazing because I think I grew up in this concept, and as we were getting more successful, I feel like I gotta be more humble than I used to be, because I used to be this guy dreaming to be a basketball player and raised in great conditions. Don't get me wrong, my parents were doctors, so I'm not coming from like any hard background. I was lucky. But I was always like had this like, I would say, armor that will protect me, and I was in myself, just like, and people feel like he's in himself, like not arrogant, but like maybe a little think he's better, but not because I thought it was like sort of my shield to protect myself. And then as I grew up, literally living my dream. I was dreaming to come to the States, open this concept, married my wife, she's the most amazing thing I could dream of. And then I have my wife, I have 2 kids, I have this business, we opened a second business. I feel that I'm finally more ready to be like, to show the world that I'm not actually this like spoiled kid that like, like think he's the best. I'm actually trying to be more down to earth, and you saying it makes me feel really good. So thank you.
I was I'm being really honest. Like I really felt that way.
Building them up.
So
yes,
this has been so fun. Thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you.
all
yes.
you guys
Amazing.
check out Penne
Pazze.
Pazze.
It's not penne. It's not penne. It's penne pazze.
Penne. See, I
Penne
try
Pazze.
to pronounce, but I take too long on the pronunciation.
No. It's like
it's penne.
penne
Penne.
pazze.
Pazze.
Penne pazze. It's
Penne
one word,
Pazze.
2 capital P's.
Penne Pazze. Charlotte Avenue, before it gets to Charlotte Pike. Eleanor Market.
Yeah.
Murfreesboro, coming up in 4 weeks.
And in 2024, we're gonna have Franklin as well.
Yeah. Oh my
2024
gosh.
in
That'd be
Franklin,
amazing.
our backyard.
Yeah, our
We'll be there every
Yes.
night. Yeah, Ryan, it's been awesome.
Guys, thank you.
Salute, chin chin.
Salute, chin chin, lechaim, lechaim. In Hebrew, we say also lechaim, which is
Lechaim.
chaim, chaim. No, it's fine. He said lechaim, which is good. Chaim in Hebrew
Chaim.
means life. So lechaim for life, for vita. Vita is life in Italian. For life, just celebrate life.
For life.
Celebrate life.
Yes.
I love that.
I love it
Let's
too.
celebrate life.
Let's do it, babe.
Cheers, all.
Cheers. Oh, so fun.